So that brings us to note taking. So note taking, there's a few key things about it. One, notes are always done in point form, focusing on keywords and main ideas. It'll help you decrease your plagiarism, and then I'll go over showing you how to take a few notes to give you a couple of examples and some ideas on it. So just keep in mind that we're doing a quick overview of these things, and there are quite a few lessons out there that you can find on YouTube and other places that will show you more detailed ways of taking notes. But I'm just going to go over a bunch of examples and a few ideas, key points on how to do that for you, okay? There's full courses on taking notes, so it's something that you have to practice and work on over time. With note taking, there's many different styles. People think differently, they remember things differently. Different things will remind them and spark their brain to start thinking a little bit deeper, and everybody organizes things differently. So some people like to just write everything word for word and copy it all down. Other people like to put in pictures, do graphics with it. Then there's the lazy guy here who does nothing and just asks for everybody else's notes. The whole act of taking notes, especially if you're taking notes during a speech or something like that, it helps you think, okay? It helps you to remember. So for myself, when I'm sitting in a lecture and I'm listening to a speaker, I'll often write down and take notes, but I'll never actually look at them again unless I'm needing to write a paper. It helps me remember things when I write them down. So note taking is a pretty important skill that you'll use not just when you're doing research, but when you're doing anything. Here's some examples. So this is kind of just somebody's notes that they've taken. They've used highlighters and underlining important information, repeating things. You'll notice that there's little hyphens and stuff. So, this is a common style of note taking that people do. Copying the notes off of a PowerPoint or off of a board or something like that, or straight right out of a book. Here's one a little bit more fancy. Person's using anagrams, okay? A, B, C, always be closing. Think bubbles, and it's kind of scattered but organized in his own way. Here's some nice messy printing, but it's all done in different colors. It's all point form. Seems to be under headings. Here's one a little bit fancier with pictures and that kind of thing, but it's not organized in a linear kind of way. It's just all over the place, but lots of color and lots of ideas, main ideas, lots of pictures, that kind of thing to help this person remember things. This one is kind of like a mind map or a concept map. So it starts at the guy in the middle here, and then it's got 5 major branches off of it, which all go down and lead down little paths with just single words or little pictures, that kind of thing, to help this person remember things. This is more of a standard template. So this person has a main question up here, and then down the side has some subtopic questions, and then there's point form notes that go to each of these questions down this side. This is a little bit more structured and organized, and I've actually got a template that's similar to this one. They've also used a highlighter to highlight the important ideas that they like. So the big thing to remember about note-taking is that there are many different styles, and people are going to need different ones. Not everybody's going to be the same, so you got to find what works for you. Here I've made 2 templates here. It's similar to that last one, so we have your big idea question up here, your key questions down the side, which is your subtopics, and then point form notes that can kind of follow beside them. And then after that, there's this place to summarize your notes in your own words, so you can write the main points and key ideas in the summary here. And then a place to put your source. Okay, so it's got the title, your author, either your website address or name of the book, that kind of thing down here. On the other one, instead of putting key questions for subtopics, I've put key points for point form notes, and then a big spot for drawing pictures, and then still has the summary box and the source there. I got the subtopic question up here. So this one here, a little different. This one would be for many subtopics and many ideas. Find something that works for you. Down at the bottom is a web address that you can download these sheets from, and I'll have it on at the end of the presentation again. Remember, they're case sensitive. Note taking, point form. So Important pieces, keywords, okay? Keywords decrease the amount of words that you're going to need in your notes. That makes it quite a bit faster. You don't need to write all the if, ands, or buts. Just your main ideas and keywords. So the ones that you would put into a search engine. You don't have to write in full sentences. Main ideas, key points, big things to remember, the important information that has to do with your topic. Don't write in full sentences because it's much quicker to write that way. If you're just doing point form notes, 1 or 2 words a lot of the time, that way you can keep up with the person who's speaking if you're at a lecture, or you can be going faster through what you're reading. There's no grammar rules, spelling, that doesn't really matter. Use bullet points. These are little bullet points here, and that'll just help you organize your notes so that they're easier to read through later on. Now, point form really helps you decrease plagiarism. It helps you to put information into your own words later on when you're writing, because you don't have all of the other person's words right there that you're copying word for word. Makes it much easier to put it into your own word. So, a quick way, an example here. I pulled this off of Wikipedia. It's a quick paragraph. The cougar, Puma concolor, also commonly known as the mountain lion puma or catamount, is a large felid of the subfamily Felina, native to the Americas. Key points out of that, also known as mountain lion puma or catamount, it's native to the Americas, and it's a feline, which means it's a cat. Okay, those are the key main notes out of that paragraph. And then you could take that and summarize it into a simple sentence, right? The mountain lion, puma, catapult, or cougar is native to America and is part of the cat family. Simple. Note taking. So next is reordering. So you can take notes, and then to help cut down on your plagiarism, you can put them into different orders. Okay, so you can look at the ideas, the sentences, or even paragraphs, and you can put them into a different order. So here, larger than the other two, the lynx and the bobcat, it is also the second largest cat in the world. The jaguar is the largest. So quick notes here, second largest cat in the world, and then I've put jaguar, cougar, bobcat, lynx. Okay, so I've kind of put it into a little bit different order than what this quote is here, and also put it into short point form notes. The important thing about reordering, though, is if you read this comic here, it says, "That's not what I meant when I asked you to rearrange the DNA." Little student here has taken DNA and rearranged the letters to make "and." So it's really important that when you do reorder things, you make sure that it still makes sense. It still says the same thing. So, rewriting and summarizing. When you rewrite and summarize your notes, you want to make sure you rephrase them in your own words. Look at your keywords and try and explain the concept and what it means to you, okay, so that you can show that you understand it. Some ideas are going to be a little hard to say differently, but most won't be. Okay, so when you are writing a report and you've rewritten something and it's almost exactly the same as your source, every once in a while, and it's just a single sentence, it's not going to be a big deal. Okay, some words you just can't rewrite. The same thing, just different. When you're rewriting and rephrasing something, the cougar or puma concolor is one of only 3 wild felid species or members of the cat family found in Canada. Okay, rewriting in it and summarizing it in my own words, only 3 wild cats are found in Canada. The other thing is, you remember the templates there had a place to have a summary, okay? So you want to write a brief overview of your notes and focus on the most important information that's important to your topic. So a lot of times when you're doing notes, you'll find that you're writing down too many things and they just might not be super important to put towards your main topic. So when you're doing the summary, that's when you can kind of cut out some of those pieces. The other important part about a summary is that it can help you organize later on. So if you have a bunch of note sheets and you have a summary, you can just quickly look at those summaries and you can help that to organize how your report's going to flow, okay, and where you're going to put that information.